Yo, what's going on YouTube? Wave back with another video. Today, I got a banger for you guys. So, my last two videos, I dropped a 70 plus and an 80 plus. But I feel like there's a more underlying factor to those two gameplays, and it's really the class setup. The class setups in this game are really important for the fact that without attachments in this game, pretty much every single gun is bad. You're going to get gunned every time. People using task force barrel, people with field agent grip, people with everything pretty much. Airborne elastic wrap. So, I'm pretty much going to go in depth and show a couple of my class setups that I really like to use to get these high gameplays and pubs. So let's get into it. First, we're going to start with the XM4. The XM4 is a really good gun. I'll show you first though, for all these classes, I'm pretty much using the same thing. I'm using Gunfighter, 1-8 attachments. Diamatti, you can use the 1911 too. It's really good, honestly. You can get really spamming with it. It's honestly probably better, but I like Diamatti. Shotguns if you want to be toxic, probably Street Sweeper if anyone. These are all kind of pointless unless you're going for challenges. Stim shot, I like to get back into the fight. Honestly, the rest of the pointless, especially the decoy. Maybe these if you're going for challenges, something with like the knife or stunned and detected, but honestly no point. Semtex, I would say is the best. If you want to, you can chuck C4s, but I feel like it's not really that efficient in this game. Frags, they're like worse Semtex since you gotta cook them, but they can bounce, so I really don't like them in this game though. Not even SND. Mollies, weird. Tomahawks, challenges. With this, you can kind of vary. So I like the field mic, kind of like a little small UAV. But you can also use the trophy system if you want to. If you're like playing like hard point dom, hard playing the objective. You can also use the assault pack if you want more ammo. You get more points with that ammo. So it's like kind of a little scavenger. It's cool. It's cool. But the rest of these are kind of pointless, honestly. For the perks, we're gonna get into it. So I like flak jacket. These two I really don't like in pubs unless I'm shooting stuff down. I'm going for challenges, and I'd rather use flak jacket over tac mask purely for the fact that I'd rather not die to a nade than get stunned every single time. Perk 2, we use scavenger. Assassin's cool. The rest of these are kind of pointless. Assassin, you pretty much get points for killing people off streaks. Scavenger is really good for the fact that you pick up ammo off enemies, so if you're trying to go on those high kill streaks, it's really good. And on the perk 3, we use ninja. You can use Ghost too. I really don't like the rest of these at all. I really say Ghost or Ninja is the one you want to go with. Ninja, I don't like people sound horn me like it's Modern Warfare. And pretty much you can use Ghost if you want to. I don't really want to. I don't really care about being seen on UAV and pubs too much. So let's get on to the XM4 class. So with the XM4, you see all these attachments. We'll start off with the sight though. I really like the Microflex LED. Some people like the mill stop. It's honestly personal preference. I'd say either or, but anything else is really kind of dead. Maybe this, but like come on, right? Really. Next we got the infantry compensator. Silicon eliminator is not too bad in this gun, but I wouldn't like it purely because -10 horizontal. This gun really does have quite a bit of horizontal kick. The -8 is kind of a stretch. Honestly, muzzle brake might be the way on this too, just so you don't lose anything. But honestly, I'd say muzzle brake or compensator. They go hand in hand pretty much. Next, we got Ranger Barrel. Ranger Barrel is really key on this gun. This barrel pretty much plus 100 bullet velocity pretty makes your gun hit scan like the old CODs. So your bullets pretty much really don't have to travel at all. I wouldn't use Task Force. It just makes the gun kick way too much. But with this takedown is not bad. But it's like you go from 45 effective damage range, right, which is pretty far honestly, to make it 114. It's like, who are you shooting from 114 consistently? Like honestly. So next, you'll see this on pretty much every gun. I like this laser. A lot of people like these other lasers, but this is the only one that really gives you hip fire and doesn't take away ADS. This is the one I use. Field agent grip. This gun has quite a bit of kick, so you're gonna need the stronger grip with this. I guess if you really like that, you can run speed grip. Speed grip. Speed grip is what it is. I don't know. There's no really need to be that much fast with AR since you're not gonna be straight for anything with this. But field agent grip's the way to go. None of these are really good. Maybe this if you're trying to like get out fast, but really if you're trying to get out fast, use a QBZ with this. Next, this is the same concept as the laser, the 40 round. It's the only one that adds ammo and doesn't take away ADS. So next, you'll see this on every single gun. The last wrap and the last dock. These are probably the best two attachments in the game. This one plus 90% flinch. It's like toughness back in Black Ops 2, if you know what I'm talking about. Kind of insane. This gives the most ADS out of all of these, and you can drop shot people, which it's not too effective in this game, but sometimes you catch people off guard, drop shot. It is what it is. it takes away sprint to fire, but you'll get it back with a stock. And shooting move, strafe, you're already not strafing. You're already like a human turn with this gun. So 30% sprint to fire, that's really good. Takes away hip fire. You're not gonna be able to hip firing people with X4 to AR. Like if you're hip firing people like that, what are you doing? And aim, walk, and movement speed. It gives you a little bit of strafe, but you still really can't strafe with the gun. Next, we're gonna be what? Okay. So now we're into the next gun. The next gun I would say is the new FAR. With the buff on the FAR, it's kind of insane. So on FAR, I guess you can run millstop. I don't really like millstop. You can run, I guess, microflex, but like I wouldn't run a sight on this. The iron sights are pretty good. Probably the best AR iron sights in the game. Next, we're gonna run the SOCOM Eliminator. The SOCOM Eliminator on this gun is really good because it gives you plus 17, minus 8 compared to X4, which is like a 15, 10. So you can run infantry compensator if you want, mother break if you want, but I feel like you're really gonna need the vertical with one of these two. Next, you're gonna say I'm crazy for this, but task force. They really buffed the task force on this gun. So they made the recoil a lot less on this gun. So I guess you can use a ranger if you really can't control the minus 15, minus 10. But this is a really good recoil for a task force. Probably the best task force recoil in the game. Next, the laser, same concept with the XM4. Field agent. With this gun, you're really gonna need a good grip because the recoil is still kind of crazy with speed grip. Speed grip, the horizontal is kind of the same, but you're really gonna need that plus 6 vertical. The clip, same thing as XM4, and then same thing, last grip, last wrap, and last stock. Best two attachments in the game right here. On to the next gun, I would say it's probably between the 74U and the Milano, one of the better guns. The MP5 isn't bad, but I'd really say 74U and Milano. I'm just gonna show both. So 74U, no sight, really good iron sights. KGB Eliminator on this gun, you can use one of these two. Honestly, I use one of these two in league play because this is banned out. I use this in league play. But KGB Eliminator is really what you want to be using in pubs. Flash concealment, really good. The kids in pubs won't know where they're dying from over and over and over again. Vertical recoil control, plus 15, so it's better than this. It does take away some horizontal, take away more horizontal, but honestly, you'll see why. You'll see. With this, we're gonna run the task force. The task force, this is like, it's pretty good for task force. If you really can't control the recoil, I would say Liberator extended. You really want your bullet velocity. Bullet velocity is really big on this gun, makes it really hit scan. But if you really can't control it, task force is the way. Then same thing with the laser on all the guns. Spetsnaz grip, all the guns that I use task force on, I really like Spetsnaz grip. If I wasn't running task force, I would suggest you run the speed grip because you don't really need all this recoil control. But with the task force, you're really gonna need it. Same thing with the clip, and then the best two attachments in the game down here. So next, we're into the Milano. And the Milano, this is kind of an outlier from all my guns. This is the only sub in the game I will probably use a red dot on, because I really just don't like the iron sights on it. I guess you can use millstop or microflex. You could use nothing, honestly. But I just like the microflex. It is what it is. On this is one of the guns that's weird. So I would say SOCOM Eliminator, but the SOCOM Eliminator is really bad. This had the plus 15 and minus 15 SOCOM Eliminator. So honestly, at that point, no real point in using the SOCOM Eliminator to me. So I just say use infantry compensator, or use mother break, one of the two. Then we're on to this gun, the task force. This gun with task force, this gun already has like barely any kick. So the task force is really good because it gives you that extra damage, extra range. If you really can't control it, again, I'd suggest the ranger, but it's like, it's not really that much, especially with this gun. 74 is a little bit more, but task force is really the way on this gun if you really want to gun people. Same thing with the laser. Field agent grip because we got task force on. And 45 round drum, same thing with the clip. Best to attach in the game. Now over to the PPSH, which one I think is kind of insane. This new PPSH is kind of insane. No sight PPSH has some of the best sights in the game. I guess you want to run microflex, no stop you can, but no point. KGB Eliminator. This is probably the best KGB Eliminator in the game right here. Plus 17, minus 5. That is just insane for a KGB Eliminator. There's no real point to even run this or this because the KGB Eliminator just blows out the water. So with that, we're gonna run task force. The task force, since you got that good KGB Eliminator, The horizontal only gonna be -20. Isn't too bad, honestly speaking. And then we're gonna be running the SETUPS grip too. So if you can't, like, same thing, Ranger. Same thing with this laser. SETUPS grip. Last night I was trying out with the speed grip, and it is good, and you are a little bit faster. But honestly, I'll just take the extra recoil control over that tiny bit of speed. It's honestly not that much. Same thing with the clip. 55. Best 2 attachments in the game right here. Raider stock, elastic, airborne elastic, whatever you want to call it. Now we're on to attack rifles. We got the M16, the craziest gun in the game. All two, I'd just say the M16 is slightly better. So M16, I don't think it's a gun you really don't want to run no sights on. So, and this is probably the best red dot right here, the mill stop. This sight right here isn't too bad, but mill stop I feel like is really the way. This sight's just kind of clunky and whatnot. So the mill stop is what I really like to run. Here, KGB eliminator. Honestly, you could run muzzle breaker infantry on any of them. This is the only gun I'd say maybe with this agency suppressor, because you get plus 100, plus 15. But that -30, I don't know how much that -30 really is, how bad it's really gonna be. Yeah, I would say honestly, you just run the SOCOM eliminator. Just don't take the chance. Honestly, the recoil control doesn't really matter too much because the burst comes at the end of the day. So I'd rather just keep my bullet velocity, take my 85% over my 100. But this, again, task force is task force. You really want to be one burst people like crazy, and it's a burst gun. Recoil did not matter too much on a burst gun. I used to run this because you get the extra fire rate, so you can like spray the burst a little bit faster. But honestly, it's either or. They're both kind of insane. This doesn't take away recoil. Idle sway gets kind of annoying, and effective damage range. You can't burst people from as far, but honestly, task force is the way if you really can spare it. Same thing with the laser. Field agent grip. At no point I really see to run speed grip right here because you just get so much more. And the M16, I don't know many people running around full speed like chicken with their head cut off with the M16. It is faster than the 74U with the new patch, but no point to run any of these. So field agent grip is really what you want to use. Same thing with the clip. Same thing with these 2 attachments. You can see all these guns are pretty much the same because all the attachments throughout all the guns are pretty much the same, but some of them vary a slight bit. DMR now. The DMR is probably, I think it's better than the Type 63. You can make an argument, but I just think the DMR just kicks that tiny bit less. So I like the mill stop sight on it. I guess you can run no sight if you really like it, but I like its sight. This sight actually not that bad on the DMR, but hey, I'm a mill stop type of guy. SOCOM eliminator. It's a single shot gun, so honestly, I like the SOCOM eliminator. The recoil control doesn't matter too much, just like the M16. That's how all the attack rifles are. Task force. You need the task force. With this too, it's 24%. It's probably the most insane task force in the game. So it does 72. So you can almost probably 2-shot people with this gun, if you want to be honest. This is like this right here without task force, a 3-shot pretty much. This is like almost 2-shot. You get like 98%, 99% so often. Still mostly need 3 shots, but you never know. Task force does get a little crazy. This one is really kind of worth it on this gun probably because you get the plus fire rate with the same damage, which is kind of insane. But I like my bullet velocity. Again, hit scan. Same thing with the laser. Same thing with the field agent grip. None of these are useful. So much more with the field agent. Same thing with the clip. Same thing with these 2 attachments. So as you can see, pretty much every gun in the game uses the same attachments with a slight variance in like the FAR and whatnot. But honestly, a lot of the things are personal preference too. Most of the muzzles and the sights are personal preference. But pretty much, that's all I got for you guys today. Those are the best class setups in Cold War for pubs. I'll see you guys later. Down below, hit my socials. On Twitch, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow, not when the video gets uploaded. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.